All right. Can everyone hear us okay? Nancy said she could barely hear us. Can you hear us now, Nancy? I've got my volume turned up.
Yep, I can hear you, Laura, just good.
Okay, good. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the November 2023 edition of the St. Lawrence County Chamber's Lunch and Learn webinar series. I am Laura Pearson. I'm the Workforce Development Coordinator of the St. Lawrence County Chamber of Commerce. This monthly educational webinar series is made possible by the generous support of St. Lawrence University and Clarkson University, who are leadership circle supporters of the Chamber. I would also like to thank Catherine Palaio, Tourism and Events Manager of the St. Lawrence County Chamber of Commerce, for her tech support and assistance during this webinar. Before I introduce today's presenter, I want to run through a few items. First, your mics have been muted and your webcams have been disabled. But if you have any questions throughout the presentation, please feel free to type them in the chat window and we will do our best to answer them. Please note that this session is being recorded for the purposes of broadcasting it on our webinar archive YouTube channel, which is named SLC Chamber NY. After the presentations are complete, we will open the floor for any Q&A. We do keep the webinars to under an hour so you can get back to work. If you're interested in presenting or have a topic you would like to see us present, please let me know. I would like to introduce our presenter, Nicole Olet from Breaking Even Communications, who will discuss the basics of how social media sites like Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok work, as well as give some ideas for content for our posts. Welcome, Nicole. The floor is all yours.
Awesome. Thanks so much. I'm just going to spotlight myself, make myself big. So hi, everyone. My name is Nicole. I have a marketing company called Breaking Even Communications, and I've had this company for almost 16 years. And you might think, oh, why would somebody who had a marketing company for 16 years know what it feels like to be a not social media person, right? Because I've been on social media for like 20 years, but I can assure you that my clients do not like being on social media, but they also run businesses, they run nonprofits, they have jobs that they might move to other jobs in the future. And so they understand the importance of social media, but they just kind of want to know what they need to know. And so today I'm just going to talk about what social media is in a general way, how to recognize a social media site, because there's new ones coming online all the time, literally, why we should care about them, even if you decide to pay someone else to manage them, why you as a business owner or somebody like that should care about social media. And we're going to talk a little bit about just a very short to-do list if you decide that at the end of this, you're going to lightly do social media. So let's see here. I just moved, our office is under construction, and this is the first time I've actually used this office. So I'm still kind of figuring out where everything is. So the best analogy I could come up for social media is a general store. Now, in my early 20s, I thought it would be really fun to go live on an island off the coast of Maine with just me and a few hundred other people that was only accessible by ferry. And on this island was a general store called Port O'Call, because of course it was called that, right? And I have looked on the internet for a picture of this store. It doesn't exist, but it is exactly what you're picturing. The creaky wood floorboards, aisles piled with stuff like all the way to the ceiling. And in the middle, in the front of the store, was a wood stove and 4 rocking chairs. And some old guys were always sitting there with some coffee. And you would walk in looking for trash bags. And the only person who knew where the trash bags were was the guy who owned the general store. He would walk up to some shelf, climb around, and then pull out some trash bags. But while you were there, you would look down and say, oh, birdseed. Yeah, I need some birdseed. And then you would hear the guys talking at the wood stove and you'd find out what was really going on. So in that, and like I said, I know it sounds super cliche, but that's literally what it was like. And social media is like that for us, right? It's a place where we go to kind of find out what's going on from other people. It's a place where we go to think about buying things. And it's a place where we accidentally end up buying things. I don't know, like, you know, you walk in for one thing and you leave with something else. So that's why we care, is like, it's the kind of new place where we're all running into each other. Now, if you're thinking about social media websites, the thing is that they're all kind of the same. And they all are made up of three things. And we'll look at like three different social media sites. I'll show you what they are, and you'll be like, got it. I see the pattern. And when you see a new website, you'll be able to evaluate whether it's a social media website or not. The first thing is every social media website has a place where you can have a profile or a page for your business. That is a place on that site for you. You can put information, like you might be able to upload a picture. You might be able to, write a little bio. You might be able to put a link to something. And basically you can sort of customize it to be about you. And if you go to different profiles or pages on the same social network, they look similar, but it lets you customize some aspects of it. And the other thing that you end up doing when you have a piece of news or something to share, you post it to your profile, to your page. So every time there's something new, you put it there and it goes on the top. You put something else new, oh, that goes on top of the first thing you posted. So if someone were to visit your page, they would not only be able to see all about you, your business, they would also be able to see what the newest things were because they would be on the very top. Profile or page, thing number one. Thing number two, every social media website has is friends or followers, basically a way to connect with other people. Now, certain websites make it so that you have to sort of agree to connect to each other. So for example, as a person on LinkedIn, if I would reach out to Laura to connect, she would have to agree to connect back with me. But typically business pages let people just follow you. You don't have to be friends with all these people. You don't have to talk to these people. They are just interested in finding out about your business. They might have seen something go by, thought, oh, I like this business. I want to periodically hear from them. And they hit follow, they hit, whatever that button is, and they are connected to your business. Now, the thing is, they're not going to see everything your business posts, right? That would be too simple. If we went back in time to Facebook in 2005, that would be the case. But the way that these sites make their money right now is by selling ads. So what they do is they only show your content to these people, sometimes because they need enough room to be able to run ads, because that's how they make their money. There's a saying in tech that if something is free, you're the product. And in the case of social media, your attention as a regular person on the site is the product. So we got our own individual place to be on the site that's ours, that we can sort of make our own to an extent. And then we have people that we're connected with, thing number two. And then thing number three is what makes social media a little bit special. And it's something called the feed. When you first log into these websites, there is a customized page that you see that is based on things like where you live, based on the businesses and friends that you've decided to make on this platform. Even stuff that your friends are commenting on will appear here. And what the site is trying to do is say, oh, hey, you're on this site. You want to see what's new. Here's a bunch of stuff we think you're going to like. And this is why if I go on a social network and pull up my homepage, and everybody on this call, even if we were on the same social network, went up and pulled up their homepage, all of our feeds would be different because we're all interested in different things. And the website tries to figure out what that is through a series of calculations that it does. It'll see that I stopped for a moment to look at an article before scrolling. It'll see that I clicked on articles from the New York Times. It'll see that I tend to like things that my friend Joy posts. And so what it'll do is it'll learn me over time and try to give me more of what I want. So that is called the feed. And the little calculations that are happening in the background is something called an algorithm. And every social media site has a different algorithm. They don't tell us what they are, right? Again, that would be too easy because they want us to pay for attention, not know exactly how to get it. So basically every website that is a social media site has these three things. So what I thought I would do is I would go on 3 different social media sites and show you what I mean. So, okay. I like pre-logged into everything before this so that I would just have it open. There we go. All right. So when I come to, this is Instagram. So I have logged in with my username and password. To click on my profile, I typically find the thing that looks like the picture that I chose, my face, my logo. So if I click on this thing, that's my face. this is my page. This is my profile. And this is all of the content that we've posted recently, right? So this is my individual page. And if I go on another page, it's laid out similarly, but I can change this little circular picture. I can change what text is written below here. I can change this link. And obviously I can pick individual things that I want to appear on this little tile thing. So this is my page. Now, in terms of, and then if I click on followers, these are all the people who have chosen to follow this account. These could be people, these could be businesses, so these are the people who are following my account. And obviously, as you see, I have people that I follow who are not following me back, and that's okay. It's okay. That's how it works. Like I can follow businesses. They don't have to individually be friends with me to have that work. So this is my home and my followers. And then when I go to that home screen, oh, here's that feed I was telling you about. So it's showing me stuff it thinks I care about. Pictures of, my friends and their kids' Halloween costumes, and a little cartoon about types of brain fog. Apparently it is trying to dig into my perimenopausal brain right now. So little marketing humor. So over time, it's figured out the kinds of things I like. It knows who I follow, and it tries to show me content related to that. Let's go to LinkedIn. So when I go to LinkedIn, oh, I click on the thing that looks like my face, or I click on the thing that says me. Either way, view profile. And this is my page on LinkedIn. And my page on LinkedIn is, I can put a tagline. I can put a little bit, I can add some hashtags. It tells me my location, and again, I have offices, by the way, in Bar Harbor and Potsdam. It's very confusing. The internet doesn't know what to do with me. So, and then it has, my activity, things I've done. So these are some things only I can see. There's also some things that other people can see. And then if I want to look at my people who've elected to follow me, I can click on followers. And these are all the people who are following things I post on LinkedIn. Again, I don't have to be, as you see, it's prompting me to follow some of these people back. I don't follow them back. It's okay. It can be one-sided on the internet, not like real life where it doesn't have to be, right? And then if I click on the home screen, when I first log in, it shows me stuff from people I'm connected with. Oh, what's on here? A little ad for point of sale systems. Oh, one of my friends reposted this content, which is why I'm seeing it, even though I don't follow that particular business. So that is my feed on LinkedIn. And you know what? We're just going to stop at 2 because I don't want to go on forever. I think you get what I'm saying though, right? If you look at the essence of all of these websites, they are the same. They are aimed at different people or different kinds of people, and they specialize in different types of content. So on Instagram, we saw a bunch of pictures and videos, and on LinkedIn, we saw links to articles in addition to pictures and videos. So different sites specialize in different content. Apologies, I thought they were not hammering during lunch, but I hope you guys can't hear that with the microphone. So we looked at some examples just a second ago. And so hopefully you get that idea. So if something new comes on the market, like Lemon 8, yeah, that's a real social network, or Polywork, yeah, that's another real social network. Look for those 3 things. If it has those 3 things, basically it's a social media website. And there's some that are even more specific. There's one called Untapped that's just about beer. And it's just about specifically enjoying microbrews. So if I went to a brewery and I tried a certain kind of beer, I could use this social network to track the beers I've tried, say what I think about them, find other people who like the same beer I do, and maybe we'd all go out together or something. But there's a lot of reasons why people use social media. I know that we're not social media people here, understand, but there are reasons that people use it. And sometimes my clients will be like, does anyone even look at this? Like, why are we doing this? And there are reasons to do this. There is a lot of, these sites are built to be addictive, for lack of a better word. And I do, if you want some ideas of how to manage your time on these sites, I have a couple of little tricks I can give you at the end. But essentially, the average person spends 2.5 hours a day on social media. So instead of going to the general store and sitting with the guys in the rocking chairs and finding out what's going on, we are going on the internet to see that. And we're getting little hits of dopamine from getting new pieces of information. So it makes this thing kind of lightly addictive. Again, it's important. Anything can be addictive if we drink too much coffee, for example. So as long as we consume in moderation, I think we can safely use these sites. Different kinds of people use social media. So like I said, different sites appeal to different people. So I went on LinkedIn and I saw people that I'm more connected with professionally, or people who are sharing articles, or I think one of my friends had shown like a display that he had set up in his store. Whereas if I go to Instagram, I might see more lifestyle type of content. So these sites appeal to certain demographics, certain ages. So even though they seem like the same thing remixed, they seem to appeal to different people. People go on these websites looking for information. Like they can easily go on Google. And I'm sure if you've even been on any one of these websites for any period of time, even for a second, you see that people are asking questions, people are finding out information. Like if you're trying to find a gutter cleaner in Messina, New York, you could go on Google and type that in, and it could bring you to a website. And you're like, I don't know if this person is really in Messina. I don't know if this business is still open. But I might pop on, Facebook, and I might type, hey, I'm looking for a gutter cleaner in Messina. And I might get a ton, oh, my friend used this person. Oh, he just came to our house 4 weeks ago and he was great. Or, and they might actually even like tag the business, so that I can go right to that business's page on Facebook and maybe send them a message. So people are going to these websites looking for information, in addition to also just seeing what other people have shared, right? Or sharing things themselves. Also, these sites are a really efficient way to let people know about maybe something you have going on. So for example, like I'm sure maybe your business or nonprofit has a website and you probably get a certain amount of traffic to it. And maybe you have an email or a texting list, right, of a few hundred people who've elected to keep in touch with you. But what if you want more people to know about, say, your Lunch and Learn series that's happening today? Well, you'd want a little more notice than today. Maybe a Lunch and Learn that's happening next month. You could post it on social media, and then people will see it that are not going to your website and who have not opted to, hear from you via email or text message. So, and if someone comments on it or shares it, then I'm even more likely to see it. So there's that social proof aspect to things as well. And these different websites allow different forms of expression. Like we saw some fun memes, we saw photo gallery, we saw a clip of a video. So these are all different ways that you can share the information, and these sites allow for different formats that are typically a little bit more dynamic than the average website. So maybe now as a business owner, you're like, okay, I care about this a little bit, or even though I'm not a social media person, I understand why I have to maybe think about it and decide, how I'm going to be online where my customers are spending 2.5 hours of their time every day. So there is the Pew Research does a social media fact sheet. I haven't figured out the exact pattern of when these come out, but it seems like it's every 2 years. And the one that I have here is, and I'll just show you the link in case you want to go find it. Where is it? There it is. So this is the Pew Research social media fact sheet. So it's pewresearch.org/internet/fact-sheet/social-media. And it shows you social media usage by different kinds of demographics, by age, by race, and by gender, all of that. It also shows the relative popularity of platforms. This dark one on the top is actually YouTube. It's kind of hard with some of these colors. So this top one is YouTube, where a little over 80% of all US adults say they use YouTube. And then right under that is Facebook. And this one that's growing kind of quickly and catching up is Instagram. So, but besides relative popularity, you have different social media sites that are popular for different populations. We can look at, age, race, gender, average income, level of education, urban, rural versus suburban, for all of these different sites. And they track them. Like I said, they seem to run these studies like every 2 years. So I just grabbed an example graphic for this slide to just give the example of if we look at Facebook. So as you see here, it has these colors. So this dark blue is 18 to 29 years old. So 65% of the US population between 18 and 29 years old uses Snapchat. 2% of 65 and older people use Snapchat. So that's how to read this graph. So as you see, there's certain websites that tend to skew older, certain that tend to skew younger, and then certain that, since they're so big, they have a lot of people on them, So you kind of want to keep this in mind because you probably have an idea of who your customers are. Maybe you sell something to a very specific demographic, or maybe you probably, like, when you close your eyes and think about your customers or think about, people connected to your nonprofit or that, you probably have an idea of who those people are. So obviously, if you decide, what sites am I supposed to be on, you can pick them based on demographic. Also, if you're not quite sure, you can ask your customers what they're using. Hey, what social media sites are you on? And you might find that you ask your customers and they're all on TikTok or something. I don't know. Sometimes you don't know until you ask, right? And then the other thing you can do, again, I know we're not social media people, but there are definitely social media sites that you will hate less than other sites. Like I hate Twitter, or X, I guess we're calling it now. I don't like it. I've never liked it. I don't like being on it. I am there in a bare minimum kind of way. So even as a social media person who's been doing this for almost 16 years, I have sites I don't even like being on. So even as a not social media person, if you tried Facebook and just didn't like it, there might be other social networks that you actually like. So just putting that out there. Again, you can still be a not social media person by the end of this. I love the title for this, by the way, because when I was talking with Laura about setting up this workshop, she told me, she's like, well, it's something for like non-social media people. And I just love that term so much because I think it's really true. If it's 2023 and you're just like, I'm not sure about social media, it's okay. You're not a social media person. That's fine. So you might ask yourself, well, okay, I get it. Like I go on the site, I filled out my profile, I found some people that I like, and I look at stuff, but like, I'm clearly supposed to also put stuff on here, right? Like I'm supposed to share things, right? That's the whole point. It's like a social sharing situation. So what kinds of things, like what am I supposed to talk about? What should I do? So I'm going to tell you this. And again, I just want to remind you that I do not own these platforms. If I did, I'd be lying on a beach somewhere, fanning myself with money. I have no control over these platforms. Also, it's annoying to me that they change what they want every couple of years because as a marketing person, I have to change my approach. So over the last couple of years, and I see this going on for a while, these sites want short form, AKA under 60-second vertically filmed videos. YouTube has shorts, Pinterest has idea pins, Instagram and Facebook have reels. And what I'm noticing is when I post that kind of content, it gets pushed out to more people. I get that video is more work than just posting a picture or just writing a sentence, but that's what the platforms generally seem to want. So don't shoot the messenger here. And I say, honestly, if you were going to be on it, you could post once a day, 5 days a week. Give yourself some time off. You deserve weekends off. We all do. And don't worry, a lot of these platforms allow you to schedule ahead of time. So like I knew a baker, and every Monday morning she would sit down before she got her hands all covered in flour, and she would schedule all her posts for the week about her upcoming specials and everything and get it done in like 20 minutes. So if you want to like sit down and sort of batch your workload to get it over with, I understand. Your potential customers and your customers, I just want to know what's going on in your business. They're spending 2.5 hours a day on these sites. So seeing stuff from your business come up will not only let them know what's going on, but also remind them that you exist. Oh, hey, I should send a donation to Anka. Oh, hey, I should go into, I'm trying to see if there's other people I recognize in the thing. They're reminded that you exist. So if you need ideas of what to post, I'm keeping an eye on the time. I'm not sure if we have time for these examples, but I do have some examples of videos. Maybe I'll just play a couple of them. But basically if you need some ideas of kinds of stuff to post, here are some ideas. First of all, like I know that you do your business all day, but it's really interesting to other people. It might be boring to you or just something you've been doing for 20 years, but it's interesting to other people. People love the behind the scenes stuff. They want to know how to do something. Oh, you roast coffee? Like, how do you make coffee at home? Because I know that if I go in your coffee shop, it's really good, but it's never that good when I make it at home. You probably have some tricks. Addressing objections people have. Like, let's face it, there's a reason that people like don't want to spend money or are holding off on buying your product or service. Rather than pretending these objections don't exist, you can just address them. You can talk to your customers. You can put your customers in your posts, talk to them. They've been coming in every Tuesday for coffee for the last, 10 years or something. I don't know. Just saying, you talk to your customers. People think that's interesting. You probably keep up with what's going on in your industry. And, I think that other people's work is more interesting than mine. I follow a guy who makes fiddles on TikTok, and there is a lot of drama in the fiddle making community that I personally enjoy following. And also, like, I just had no idea how much work went into that kind of thing. You can show your products. Like, people it's funny because we'll do these videos and for our clients, and then people come in and be like, I didn't know you had that. And I'm sure that you've experienced that as a business owner. So I have some things, but I'll skip them. If we have time, I can play some of them, but they're all videos. So the slide I made here is, why are these all videos? And it's that the platforms want video. You can post other stuff. I'm not saying don't, I'm saying that they really like video. So throw a video on there once in a while. So your videos, if you're going to make one, are going to be seen by more people than other types of content. It's more likely because they're getting pushed out by the websites, they're more likely to be seen by strangers than your average content. And if you run ads to videos, they tend to be less expensive than other kinds of content. So these platforms are just incentivizing you on all levels to do video. I get it. You don't have time to be a video studio. Just make one once in a while. But this idea is that social media is a conversation that you're having with your customers. You're posting stuff, but also your customers are talking back. So how do people talk back to you on social media? Like, they will talk back to you in a few ways. One of them is a reaction. This is pretty low effort. Sometimes it involves clicking a heart or a thumbs up. It's a little emoji typically. And they're different on different sites. Some sites have more of them. Some sites, like Instagram, only has the like button and that's it. Facebook has more. You can do a concerned emoji reaction. And so I can see here who commented or who reacted to this video. Another thing people will do is leave comments. This is obviously more effort because they have to type something instead of just picking an emoji from a list of options. So sometimes they'll write comments, and in the comments, they might ask you a question. You showed a video about how to do something and they might say, hey, I have this kind of, coffee grinder. Is that going to work? I don't know why I'm on coffee. I think I made a pot of coffee and then forgot to drink it until about 5 minutes ago. So, and then besides reactions and comments, you also have messages, and messages are private. They're just between you and the other person. So the other person, if they have like a more personal question to ask you or something, or they want to start a conversation, they're going to move into your private messages, or as the kids call them, the DMs, the direct messages. So a couple little things at the end of this here is that every social platform lets you have one link. And it might be hard for you to be like, okay, well, I don't know. Like, should I link to my online store? Should I link to my homepage? Like, I kind of did this cool video I want to link to. What should I do? And what you can do is you can make basically an aggregated little page. And so I have one with beacons.io. The other one is link in bio. And I'm just looking for what my, come on, there it is. And it's basically just a page that showcases a bunch of stuff. So I get one link on Instagram, I send them to here. And what I can do is I can lay it out and I can put different things on it. Obviously, you can make a page on your website, that does this, that just has a bunch of stuff on it. But these link in bio and beacons just let you kind of lay it out a little cute. So make that link count. You don't have to just pick the one thing. If you want to put a bunch of things together that you want these people to see, you could put them on a page like that. And then the reason we all do this, right? To get results. And how do we know what our results are? Well, we have something, if you have a business page on any of these platforms, called analytics. They're called analytics. And it's basically your data. What are people doing with these accounts? And the kinds of things you'll see is, okay, how many people have chosen to follow you? So these are people who saw your stuff, remember at the beginning, and said, yes, I want to keep in touch with this business. They follow you. So they're interested in hearing from you on a somewhat regular basis. Reach is how many people saw a particular piece of content. So I made a video, and if I look at this, you'll see that I got 281 non-followers to see my content. If that's because I posted that video, that's who saw it. So reach is how many people saw something. Views is how many times it was viewed. So for example, I might have reached Laura. She might have watched the video twice. So that would count as reaching one person with 2 views. And then engagement. After doing that, how many of them hit a little reaction button? How many of them left a comment? How many of them went into your messages? How many of them shared it out so that other people could see it? And that's why whenever someone gets engaged or gets a new puppy or goes on a trip, you always see it on these social networking sites, because people will start interacting with that comment. Oh, congratulations. What's his name? And oh, what kind of dog is that? And suddenly, because there's a lot of comments and little emojis, you start seeing it because the algorithm thinks, oh, this must be important because a bunch of people are reacting to it. So what you want to do is periodically look at your stuff and see what people are interested in, see what people are interacting with, see what people are asking questions about. And what I always tell people is we want to be observant and not judgmental. Your stats are not going to keep going up and up and up all the time. I've never seen that happen. You will have ups and downs. So just notice what's going up and do more of that. So just a little to-do list if you wanted one. First of all, I say pick 2 to 3 social media sites you're going to be on. I don't say pick one because we have no control over these platforms and they could change at any point. And I have a client who was only on Facebook. He only wanted to be on Facebook. I said, are you sure you don't want to diversify? I said this 2 years ago. He said, nope, I want to go all in on Facebook. So then he called me last month and he said, so my reach isn't doing great. So what do we do? I said, well, there's other platforms. So now we're getting him on Instagram and TikTok. So I say you wouldn't take all your money and put it in one stock. Don't take all your marketing efforts and put it into one website that you don't have complete control over. So I say diversify. And again, if you make a cute image, you can put it on Instagram and Facebook. Why not? You can put it more than one place. There's different people on those platforms. Odds, even if I follow you both on Facebook and Instagram, odds that I'm going to see both of those things are slim to none because it's only showing content to some people. So decide what social media sites you want to be on and just post to them, a few times a week on a regular basis. Check your comments and messages. I like to do it over coffee. I just, I have the app and I just, check them while I'm drinking my coffee. It's a pretty quick thing, a little daily thing. Support other businesses by sharing their content, right? Especially on here. This is a great place for businesses to network with each other, especially, we're all kind of in the same area. We're all trying to reach probably similar people. So let's help each other out. And then periodically, look at your stats, see what people liked that you shared. And okay, people are like the behind the scenes videos. Okay, I'll do more of those. Update, your profile, link in description. So, we're heading into the holidays. Maybe you have a campaign going on that you want people to know about. Maybe, you want to update that link. Maybe you need to update your hours on Facebook or Google or whatever. Just set a little time. I just, every 3 months I have update profiles in my Google Calendar. It just pops up and I go and I think, okay, well, and it makes me look at them once in a while and sort of change things up. And then, periodically find new people and businesses to connect with. So that's why I say periodically. It could be every couple of months or something. And I want to note here, you can get help with all or parts of this. Like if you just want to come up with videos and you don't want to post them or respond to comments and messages, you can hire someone to do that. Oh, you want to film videos and have someone just edit them so that they look cool and are under 60 seconds, you can hire someone to do that. I just want to remind you that no one is going to shame you for not doing all your own marketing. I don't do all my own QuickBooks. I have someone else do that. And I know how to go in and invoice. I know how to go in and pull reports. Those are things I need to know how to do so I can make sure that money is efficient, but I don't need to know everything about QuickBooks. You don't need to know everything about these platforms either. You just need to know what you want to get out of them, which platforms you should be using. and how to sort of look over stuff and make sure that, you know, the person you've hired is doing a good job. So that's all I've got. I just want to tell you that if you want to come over, we have a co-working space. That's where I'm working from right now. So we have private offices, high-speed internet, and all that right here at 22 Depot Street, which is in the Market Square Mall in Potsdam. I also have a marketing company, and we offer no obligation consultations to anybody who wants to talk about their marketing needs, and happy to give people options. So I'm happy to do questions or pull up some of the other stuff that I have some tabs open if we had extra time. So, but I wanted to at least get through the content there. So
Thank you so much, Nicole. Can we turn off the recording, Catherine, and we'll open up the floor for questions? All right, let me look at the chat.